Hi, welcome back to Westbury 101. I'm Brian Westbury, Chief Economist at First Trust Portfolios. Remember, we want to be the antidote to conventional wisdom. Well, today I want to talk about Greece. Obviously, a week ago we had elections in France and Greece. Socialists won. The anti-austerity party won. And what's happening now is that things are falling apart very, very rapidly in Greece. And many people are talking about either kicking Greece out or them voluntarily leaving the Eurozone. Really, the debate is about whether we bail them out or whether Europe bails them out and maybe cancels their debt or pays off their debt, or whether they are kicked out or forced out of the euro. Many people are then saying that what they need to do is bring back the drachma. If they could just devalue, then that would fix all things, because they would devalue their debt. They would not have to pay back as much. There's lots of people that think you can inflate your way out of a debt problem. Unfortunately, this isn't true. If Greece leaves the euro and they try to bring back the drachma, it will be an unmitigated disaster. There is only one way to bring back the drachma as it exists and the way they want, and that is to literally force people to exchange their euros for drachma. The way they do that is basically nationalize banks or nationalize the deposits in those banks and then exchange them for drachma, and that would be their new monetary policy. Unfortunately, if this word gets out that that's what they are planning on doing, in fact, we're already seeing it. Billions and billions of euros are being withdrawn every week from the Greek banking system because they're afraid that someone's going to force them to take drachma. The problem is that Greece really has very few assets to back up a new currency, and this is what really matters. In order for a currency to replace an old currency, a new one to replace an old one, it has to be a stronger currency. There's in a sense, a rule in economics that only a strong currency can replace a weak currency. And this leads me to the title of our Westbury 101 today, and that is the Golden Drachma. If Greece were to put in a new drachma that was backed by gold or tied to a gold standard, then the drachma could return, because people would believe that the drachma would hold its value over time. If people don't believe in the drachma, they will not accept it. Greece will not be able to do business overseas in any currency other than euros or dollars or pounds. And as a result, there would be no acceptance of this new currency and the economy would collapse. But here's the issue, and that is, if they were to bring back a golden drachma, that would mean that Greece cannot devalue to repay its debts. It cannot inflate to repay its debts. And as a result, the only way out of this dilemma for Greece is either to default on all its debts, which would then make it very, very difficult for it to borrow in the future. It certainly couldn't borrow right away, and it would have to cut spending dramatically because of that. Or it would have to put in a full-fledged austerity package of massive spending cuts and pension reform in order to allow a new currency to take place. In other words, what I'm saying is the only way out of this debacle for Greece is true spending cuts, pension reform, regulatory reform, government reform, true austerity, in the sense not raising taxes, but cutting spending. This is what Greece wants to avoid, and in the end, it cannot avoid it. They can't bring back the drachma if it will be a weak currency. If they bring back the drachma as a golden drachma, then they will be forced to follow fiscal reforms anyway. Greece is literally out of options, and the only way out of this current mess is to cut spending, cut the size of the government, and reinvigorate the free market and capitalism in Greece. In fact, this is the only way out for Europe as a whole, and that's why I believe that what we are witnessing today is the end of the social welfare state. It's the equivalent of the decline of the Berlin Wall, the fall of the Iron Curtain. It's just not happening on 1 or 2 or 3 days or a week. It's happening over months, a period of time. This is the end of the social welfare state. It will lead eventually to a much better world, a much more vibrant and robust economy in the future. But between now and then, it will be very noisy and very dramatic. The question then becomes, how does this affect the United States? I still believe that U.S. banks, for example, they have $36 billion. The 5 biggest banks have $36 billion of net exposure to the pigs, but they have $575 billion of capital. We can withstand problems, even a collapse in Greece, without seeing our banking system get taken down too. And as a result, I believe that the demise of Greece, the demise of the social welfare state, is in fact a very good thing for world economic growth and even U.S. economic growth as we move into the future. I hope Greece puts in the Golden Drachma. I kind of doubt they will, but we'll see what happens. Thanks so much for visiting Westbury 101. See you next time.